Hey team, this is Scorpius checking in. We're in the bakery. We did much of the painting when it initially started, but the client ran out of money. So a lot of this stuff I've already put hands on, fixed the freezers, got those ready, repiped at the bottom because the bottom used. And today we are back to tear this wall out. And initially it was looks like a makeshift wall. Doesn't look like it has much attachment to anything other than just concrete here. I'm going to assume that there's some stud in here from what it looks like. Outside of that though, I know they didn't attach it to the ceiling tile. We are going to pull this stuff out of the way and get started. We're going to drop this electrical some other place, which is not a priority right now. She would like to have it probably here or somewhere else, but that's added work, not within the quote, but I like to give tips here and there. Let me know, guys, if you think that's good or not. It's a small bakery, so it's good to help people that are struggling like yourself, and we are about to get started. Scorpius checking out. Just want to give you guys a quick heads up. Never trust another man's drywall work. Look at this framing system right here. It came out with the drywall. Isn't that fantastic? Did he do that for the lining? Looks like they were short on material. Dang it. Isn't that something weird? Look how he patched this thing together from behind, man. Like they were not interested in figuring out how to connect these butt joints on these studs. Now, from my experience, a 2x4 by 8 or 10 or 12 is not even $10 right now. So he wouldn't have needed but maybe 2 or 3 more 2x4 by 6 or 8s to run this top panel here and then the bottom. And if he was just, you know, on his stuff, he could have got a whole 2x4 by 10 and ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, all the way up and down, and then he could have spliced, he could have cut it and doubled up like he did, which is decent, but he could have ran that up and down along this mid plate here, this mid plate section, and he could have cut them and then fitted them in because he's inevitably doing it anyways. So why not use the amount needed, okay? And just add in 1, 2, 3 more studs on top and bottom to close in this gap so that he can have at least a 16 to 20 inch gap spacing instead of what looks like a 2 foot. Let's check it out and see. But of course, people don't like to spend too much, but just enough. Wow. So this one wasn't even 2 feet. This was almost 30 inch. Look at that. From here to here. Who are these guys? Huh? I'm telling you, this wall here, before I started hitting the mud, before I started playing with the mud, this whole wall right here, I mean, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but at this point, let's look. It's kind of hard to tell because the camera moves with it, but this joker here is not solid. Now, my last set of videos were on a wall installation on finished flooring, tile system just like this. So let's see how they held the bottom in. I don't want to disturb it too much. They may have some anchors from what I see right here. And that looks like the best safeguard that these guys were tending to use, and they only did it every other stud spacing. So let's see. There's some electrical over there. So I tore out the wall that did not have the electrical fixture on it. All right, and I did that on purpose so that I can knock the wall down that's showing electrical with much more safety. Okay. That way, I don't have to go back and buy this lady any more Romex. All right. So we got the whole back side down. We're going to disassemble it as it goes. It doesn't look like it's attached to the ceiling, which is fantastic. We're going to rewire this electrical. We got a blue box, so that's old build. Just for you up-and-coming contractors, old build means that I can plug this thing in a drywall without a stud. If you see a gray or silver box, 9 times out of 10, you have to, again, 9 times out of 10, you'd have to attach it to the stud. I just got a call and they interrupted my video. Sorry about that, folks. But this is where we're at. This thing was patched and played. I mean, talking about saving money. But, I mean, come on, guys. What kind of contracting is this? What are we doing and why? I'm trying to understand this guy right here. That looks like some drywall repair, okay? I don't see any mud sticking out through the back. So does that one. I don't know what they were going through that for. But for the most part, let me see if there's any mud. No. So they kind of just barely brought this guy together. There's some over here. Look at that space up there. This thing was not even plumb. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Let's get that inspector on board. All right. But long story short, that is that. We are going to pick up where I left off with 2 hands and tear this thing out the wall. Get it smooth. On the borders, it looks like they used some adhesive to get it in here. I don't know what type. Looks like regular sealant, but we'll disassemble this thing from the top down. I do have my ladder over there somewhere. See that yellow guy right there? Yeah, thanks to Walt. So I'm gonna get that going. I'm gonna disassemble it from the top once I know it's accessible and safe. Get this stuff cleared out, load it on that trailer out there in front door, and I have bags for the smallies, okay? I got my construction grade contractor bags. So we'll tear this thing out, find a dump spot, and collect with a happy customer all over again. This is a repeat customer, so again, the value in your name is worth more than pure gold, just as the Bible says, folks. All right, so I probably will add this wiring in and just throw it into another wall if possible, and then let them be happy with that. Okay? All right. Well, on to the next one. Stay tuned. I'm coming back. All right, team, I got to disturb you one more time before we get to the final point. I'm not doing a continuous video because it's really unnecessary, but let me show you guys. You see that? If you're going to be hiring your framers, look at that. Let me set my hand up so you can see. Look at that. This wall system right here is braced by 2 nails. This one's 3. But look at that, man. Look at the play in these guys. I mean, is he using some 1.5-inch nails or what? All right. Now, he's got screws here for the drywall. I recommend, if you're doing a single standing non-support wall, okay, which may take trauma from the lateral sides, to use screws, man. It's one wall. Go ahead and throw that in there, okay? Because those nails do not hold up if you do not have enough volume space, okay, in wood matter to self-support or self-sustain. All right, and so this wall is not held up at the top by anything, okay? So he just got it right tucked up underneath these ceiling tiles, right? So the only thing that's supporting this wall is this back end here, which I'm hoping he at least put liquid nails on. And I see he's got some anchors to some degree. We'll get into that and see what's going on. They look like nails to me, though. However, at the bottom, these anchors that look to be the same with the red little collar on them, I haven't seen these particularly before. Yeah, these are just nails. So it looks like they came off a collated roll. and he just drove him into the tile system. I don't know what's beneath this floor plate, but we are fixing to see. Anyways, if you're not going to drive anchors into the flooring, which is highly recommended and probably code, you're going to have to adhere the entirety of the base plate with liquid nails or some sort of wood to tile, wood to metal, wood to wood fastener system that is stronger than the nail itself. So liquid nails is 2 or 3 times stronger than any nail, all right, that I know of, and has the resilience of screws. Now, when you plaster this whole plate system like I do on my individual or single freestanding wall systems, the entire base plate is plastered with a spread of the liquid nail solution provided by that wonderful company. Can't remember the name if that isn't the name. However, that is the case, and my floor plates are stable. This one here is rocking like the Titanic and not in good condition. I would not put my people on this ship, folks. All right? Well, fantastic. Looks like we did try to use some liquid nails. I don't know what happened and what went wrong, but definitely had some issues with it sticking. And from what it looks like, his base was too thick, and as you can see here, it's just not compressed well enough. Too much air. You can see here with these vacuous ports in here that, oh, she got termites, that it just wasn't a good adhesion. Too much spacing, too much air, so not enough surface area. This thing should be compressed once done enough. But he also did not have that advantage because he couldn't build it out from the top. So he couldn't use the upper joists to compress or box in his framing system. So he did what he could do. In that case, know in advance that you should probably set down some better anchors than nails, okay? This is like some 8-penny, 10-penny nails. These are like some 3-inch booger bears, ring shanked, okay? But either way, I would say he made his most valiant effort, but that, my friends, was not necessary. It was necessary, but it wasn't sufficient. We'll put it like that. All right, let me tear the rest of this out and we will get started. Let me move this out to my trailer and finish you guys up with the results and the cleanup. Added and warranted. If you guys are going to be installing a single independent self-sustaining wall like this one, make sure that if you're in a bakery where there's running water and constant cleanup, you're going to want to case this stuff in with waterproof material. Looks like he tried, but at the same time did not, because this floor plate came from here. You can see the mold, the mildewage, and the booger bears that ran out when I pulled this guy up. I think they went back behind the wall somewhere, but they're safe now. At least with me they are. However, be careful. Save yourself a bad name. And look at that there, man. That stuff is thick and did not do the trick. Whew, sorry. And one thing I really don't like is when they say, oh yeah, and make sure that you pull it out clean and limpiecito, and you know, I want it to look like really good. And I'm like, well, why'd you hire me? Didn't you dadgum see my reviews? Didn't you see my work online? Man, I make it look like it was never there to begin with. Right? Man. Now, can you tell where the wall was besides right there? Huh? That's paint. And where they nailed in the anchors, which were nailed in, of course you're gonna bust that freaking cinder block up, right? But look at this, man. He nailed it into the tile as well. That has some damaging effect because tile is basically in like a crystallized form, so it doesn't turn out clean. See that? It was already chipped, and that's where the nail anchoring was. And who nails into tile? Come on, man. It's like nailing into glass. This is ceramic, of course, but it's like a B-grade glass, so of course it's going to chip. But look at this. Your floor plate was here, but you can barely see. You can kind of see a hint of it, and it hasn't even been mopped. And I'm daggum getting this bad boy frosty, okay? So don't ask me if I can do a clean job, because I'm going to do a clean job, because this is what I do, and this is what I train. This is why I don't have any guys, because I train my guys to do a clean job, right? And nobody wants to get on their hands and knees and scrape like a redheaded stepchild. No offense to redheads, but you know what I'm saying. Tis what it is. Now look at the difference. Look. See that? Now wait till Scorpius gets a hold of it. Even this, look. All that goes. All of it. Okay? I'm even freshening up the grout lines. The heck? I'm polishing their tile for them with a dadgum chisel. Look at that. I think people will be more likely to hire up and pay what it's worth when they realize the Scorpius is going to do more than what you asked for anyways. I'm out. Alright team, we just got done cleaning up. Everything is everything. All I have is a little bit of dust. And look what I found along the way. Besides some cupcake holders. This pan here, I'm sure she'll be thankful. Rearranged a little bit. I pulled up the Romex. Was going to tie it in as a gift, but that would have been a whole nother set of motion. And at this point, I don't feel like fighting through the wall. I just have to bore a hole up in there, and I don't have my boring bit handy. Not that I don't have one, it's just I gotta find that joker. So in order to get that section done, I gotta rebore the hole that this conduit runs through on that top plate up there. It is seated and booted, ready to go. I'm gonna drop it down on this side. It's a drywall junction box, so all I have to do is install it. It's blue, so it's new. It's a old build. If I said it right the first time in the first section of the video, blue is old build. Gray and silver are new build because they adhere to studs. This is a drywall box, and how it works is when you screw this screw in here, it turns this flap upward exactly half an inch. See that? That's half an inch, and in that spacing it will create pressure and tension on the drywall and adhere it. That is the top side, and then you have a bottom side on the opposite. It's kind of cat-a-corner like that, so it tightens it that way. So you just tighten both screws and you're good to go. Reattach the wiring and your outlet is good to go. We will put that on the wall, but I'll have to upcharge for that because I am a broke joker. And I told her I was done, sent her the finished photo, and waiting for her to arrive. Until then, I will just put this back and clean up my little dust balls over there. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned if you want to enjoy some other quick tidbits and trick tips on how to rip out a wall in about an hour and a half, clean up, get everything situated. Come on along. Subscribe, share, like, make your comments. Tell me about it. Scorpius checking out.